大型最长的，我今天讲的是Frida kahlo，是Magdalena Carmen Frida Cardinal was born on July 6, 1907 in Coyoacán, Mexico. Her father was Guillermo Cajal. He had immigrated Mexico and Germany in 1891. The mother was Martino Y. Gonzalez. He was a Mexican, and her family were descended from American Indian and Spanish blood. Martino was born in La Casa Azul, a house where her father had built for his family in 1904. It was called a blue house because the outside was painted bright blue. The house became an important part of Frida's life. Frida's father had several jobs and moved to Mexico. And married Frida's mother. She taught him into become a photographer, which was one of his father's habits. As it turned out, Guillermo Gallo was a very good photographer and successful. The Mexican government asked Mr. Gallo to take photographs and landscapes of the historic buildings of Mexico. For about 4 years, he traveled all over Mexico taking hundreds of photographs. Frida grew up looking at her father's photographs. In how he learned about Mexico histories and art and architecture. Frida wasn't just anyone who learned about the history, art, and architecture of the country he was born in. The country she was born in. She also wanted to learn about nature and science. Learners are bringing home rocks and saplings, even small animals. Frida's was always happy to have frogs and frogs in the house, but her father think thought this was fantastic. He wanted his daughter to learn as much as she could. Frida has three sisters, Marta and Arina, who were older, and Christina was younger. The for Frida was definitely her father's mother. He thought Frida was the smartest and the most like him. And Frida's father liked to play when he wasn't busy taking photographs. He sometimes took Frida with him and traveled to the countryside on a plane. Frida would watch her father's use of planes and brushes. When Frida was 6 years old, she caught a serious disease and called polio. Polio is a disease that affects our spine and sometimes leaves people paralyzed. Paralyzed. Frida survived in polo, but in a long time getting better. She had stayed in a room at a blue house for 9 months. She was hard and soft and as curious and energetic as Frida stuck in the bed, but Frida met an imaginary friend to keep her company was the longbow polio. Frida's lay is weak and thin, but his parents didn't want her to stop doing things because of her leg. She played soccer as a sports and champion swimmer. There were always rules I didn't usually do in Mexico in the early 1900s. Even with all the exercise, Friday's legs and not stronger. I was neighborhood and at school teased about her leg. It was called her pata de polo, means peg leg. Frida would yelled back at him and did her mind not to let her nickname weak leg stop her. As she was older, Frida wore prints, long dresses, and skirts around his leg. She was also free wore four socks with special shoes. And Frida didn't want anyone to know she was different, make fun of her, or feel sorry for her. Even though Frida has missed a lot of school because of her illness, she was a good student of great grades. Frida had a photographic memory, which means she could picture something in her hand or hers of it, and also can easy Fridays and turn language of and able to speak Spanish, English, and German. It was clear that Frida's parents and their daughters had been allowed to learn of his answers attending the usual national repertoire in Mexico City. It was the best students in the country, so there was 15 years old. Raya and 34 other girls joined the school and 20,000 boys, but Frida wasn't afraid of worry. She knows she was smart, and she was know that she could spell. Frida was away from home in the first that opened his eyes her head and closed a lot on reason have the Mexican revolutions and had from 1910 to 1920. And then his friends Frida made the things and talked about he learned in the class and Frida's life. It's no longer with Frida peg leg of his her classmates thought is a smart fun chivalrous girl who could do anything she put her mind to. Frida who kindness of class in high school. Her favorite subjects were science and math, although Frida's mother and grandfather had been photographers. Frida decided she wanted to be a doctor. It is unusual for a young girl in Mexico at that time. It wouldn't be easy and would take but many years, but Frida determined to do it. Even though Frida and her friends study hard. They also like to have fun, especially Frida. Anyway. She joined a group called the Cachuchas. It is the name of the special red caps. They have a word of the group making seven boys and two girls. The leaders of this group of Alejandro 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 Gomez Arias as he became Frida's girlfriends. Frida loved hanging out with his friends more than anything. They liked to play pranks and practical jokes on people. Frida was popular of the group because she's daring and brave. She didn't care in getting into trouble. She liked being a troublemaker and annoying her teachers. After revolutions, the first thing the Mexican government did to hire artists to paint in large scenes of buildings of vacancies. These paintings tell memorials of the history of Mexico, governs the Mexicans, understand the past of their country, and give them a hope better future. One day, a name named Diago Rim and Frida's rose at the river, the very famous heroes of the honor of the school in here. Frida didn't care that he was famous. He got an old fat stone. While he was trying work, Frida also did things like steal the dessert from the lunchbox and putting stilts on the stairs and see if he can slip and fall. Frida got too much trouble that she was expelled from the school, but Frida still has said that it was unfair. She decided to do something about it. She took her case and straightened minors out. The education is an incredibly brave thing to do. The nine ministers agreed to let the Fridas back to school, but they didn't change her. But that didn't change his behavior. her behavior. She went back to school and continued the silly and crazy things. These years in high school changed Frida and made her more determined and stay strong and accomplish whatever she wanted. She was on her way and becoming a doctor. Frida felt that she had so much to live for, but all of that would soon change. 现在呢，入线肯定上，但是那个什么叫说这个？